Oh shit. Hey, what's up, fantasy people? This is Tyler Ward and Jason Jason the lucky bastard Uthenwoldt. And we are the fantasy
football and show.
That was not rehearsed at all.
That wasn't rehearsed at all. There's no structure on here. We don't do structure, not yet at least. We're not paid to do structure.
So anyways, today is the weekend wrap-up show where we are going over all of the standouts, the disappointments, the injuries, and all the news from this week one fantasy football. So everybody freaking out right now, Jason, including you.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I had two players get me almost 0 points.
I was angry.
Yeah. But I pulled up the stat, just to give people hope. So after week one last year, Corey Davis was the top 5 wide receiver. Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase was outside the top 10. Keenan Allen was wide receiver 33. Justin Jefferson was wide receiver 47. And Stephon Diggs was wide receiver 52. And then running backs, Tyson Williams, he was running back 10, hot stuff. Jonathan Taylor was running back 18. James Conner was running back 40. Najee Harris was running back 42. And Zeke was running back 46. That was all after week one last year.
The 40 club.
Yeah. So, everybody that's freaking out about your team, give it a little bit of time. So, and things will bounce back to the norm, like this is a really bad, first week plus one, 3 preseason games, 2 in which that nobody even plays in. So it was just a recipe for that.
What do you think about most of the first round picks? Do you feel like they played well? Like played to their potential?
I mean, the wide receivers did, I think. But, you look at Breece Hall and you're looking like at Dameon Pierce.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Travis Etienne was kind of this is his rookie year, kind of, because he got injured before last. I'm trying to think of some people off the bat, I'm trying to think of some of the rookies running backs that were drafted high other than those two. Can you think of any, Jason?
As a rookie? No, I was more talking about just like your first round pick for like fantasy.
Oh, like when you say first round picks, I was like, dude,
yeah, I meant
all these wide receivers.
No, I don't got the memory for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, that's like you're busting my chops.
I feel like most of the first round picks did pretty well. Maybe 1 or 2 didn't perform the way they should, or they didn't perform at their draft pick. But
the wide receivers were what, like 6 for 6, all the way down to like CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go through, it was crazy. Because I drafted Derrick Henry, but you go through Eckler, Henry, Dalvin Cook. I mean, it's not like they were bad, but they were disappointing for where you drafted them,
Yeah.
So that was a big thing this year, was the wide receivers upending the running backs at the top of the fantasy draft. And so far, that seems like the smarter decision.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm not. If I draft Derrick Henry, I'm not going to be worried. I'm drafting Derrick Henry for the winter time. I don't care about all this.
Yeah.
So, because that's when he just starts rolling fools. Even though, I don't know if you saw, he got hit so hard, dude.
Oh, yeah, he got laid out.
Did you see that?
My gosh, yeah. I felt it. I fell off the couch.
Well, he was like in the air. Like,
I know.
He didn't have any feet on the ground.
I know.
And that dude just popped him.
Yeah.
But that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch that game.
One thing to look out for the Titans game is that they got their loss. So is one down, how many to go before Tannehill's backup, and they bring in that new quarterback.
Well, I wasn't able to watch that game, but I was watching the live thread on Reddit and all this other stuff, and they said Tannehill looked good, surprisingly. So far, I mean, they seem like they were happy with Tannehill.
Yeah.
But anyways, what else? Oh yeah, so you were talking about that Titans game.
Yeah, that was just one of, I guess it looks like if you're going to have anybody for the Giants, you want to get Barkley.
I went against Barkley and it was terrible.
Yeah.
I was like, Barkley. Oh, I get to go against Barkley. Thank you. And then I went, Barkley. Oh,
I know. Right. He definitely played higher than his 3rd or 4th round pick. He did pretty well.
Well, he might be like, it's just kind of like it's like Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor. I was watching Jonathan Taylor. He was like 15 for like 50. I don't know. He was not getting any yards, and then that fourth quarter, he just wears people down.
Yeah, he's a young buck. He's got that energy.
I'm wondering if that's going to be the same case for the other dude we were just talking about. Oh, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, it was a Barkley.
I was like, man, who was that guy?
All bite, no Barkley.
Yeah, and I mean, if you read everybody's tweets and everything, he hit like 20. He was like one of the fastest players in the NFL this last week. So, I mean, if I could trade for Saquon, I probably would. But you're going to be trading on such. I mean, you're trading. No, you probably, unless somebody's an idiot, they're not going to trade him for less than what he's worth, because he's worth a lot right now. Like right now, people would pick him in the first round. People would probably trade Kamara for Saquon Barkley, and Kamara went way before that. So
yeah, he didn't play too well.
Yeah, that was only a 1-point game, and it was all Giants at the end too.
I know. Gosh, Titans let that up. That was like the Saints and Atlanta game. Atlanta should have won that game.
See, I didn't get to watch that either. I've got to buy that package or whatever that crap is.
I don't think the Saints won. I think Atlanta lost. They had that game and they just let it go. One of some of the things to like look at that though was that Michael Thomas back to like 5 receptions, 2 touchdowns. His route running looked crazy. Cordell Patterson, he got over 100 yards. And Drake London, he had I think he led the team in targets. He got like 5 receptions, like 70 yards or something like that. USC
Everybody, because I was listening to all the radio stuff today, all the NFL insiders, like Dan and Jeremy. I'm sure you don't. I don't think you get to listen to Rich Eisen show and all that, but like, they were saying that Drake London actually looks really good, like because they were worried about his knee and everything, and he was missing preseason. Everybody sounds like they were surprised with Drake London. They were surprised with Marcus Mariota. And the number one thing that Arthur Smith wanted to fix was the Falcons defense. And it seems like they did okay. But one of my big takeaways from that game was how bad the Saints defense it was, even though it's the first game. But usually they own. I mean, that's like, Marcus Mariota back. I mean, they should have done a lot better. And that was one thing that was holding Jameis Winston back last year and everything. Their defense was so good, they didn't have to throw it. Throw it. And so at the end of this game, they had to do that. And you saw Jarvis Landry went like 7 for 140 or something like that.
Yeah.
So who would you rather have going forward? Would you rather have Jarvis Landry or Michael Thomas?
I would have Michael Thomas.
Okay. Because
the one thing with Landry, right? He gets you the receptions, but he doesn't get you the touchdowns. And Mike Thomas, he's already a beast. He can also get you receptions, but he'll also battle up there and get you those touchdowns.
He's coming off an injury though, too. So
well, I know that's why. But when I saw him playing, he looked really good. And then he didn't look like he came off an injury.
As 2 players with what you and I both combined for 0.5 points from our tight end position, right? What did you think about? Would you consider getting Taysom Hill and starting him?
Can you put him in the tight end?
Yeah.
God, this league.
It's all ESPN.
Yeah.
So.
It's depending on how bad your tight end is. Like, yeah.
Who would you rather have? Would you rather have Dawson Knox or Taysom Hill?
Probably right now Taysom Hill. But then again, like I got Knox where I wanted to get him, and like I said before, I'm not expecting him to get 10 points every game, but there are going to be games where he's going to get you over double-digit points.
Right.
The Bills passing. I want it.
Right. And you saw Kyle Pitts only got like 2 receptions for 17 yards or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think that they're still trying to. Mariota's first year in that offense. I think they're going to figure it out. They're going to use Kyle Pitts. They're going to use him. He's going to do better.
Well, they had the same coach last year, and Kyle Pitts got hyper targeted. So I think it's just a matter of time. There's probably I'm sure Marcus Mariota was pretty nervous on his first game.
Yeah.
But also, I'm looking at Marcus Mariota for a potential, top 15 quarterback as well if he's going to continue to rush like he did.
It's all about the rushing nowadays. If that quarterback can rush.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping Trey Lance around.
Trey Lance, 49ers against the Bears. That game you were able to watch. There was a moment where I was like, I have the best pick in the whole draft. The next
Elijah Mitchell?
Yep. And now he's out for 2 months.
Elijah Mitchell looked a lot bigger this year, I noticed, because I had him last year and he seemed a lot slighter. And they said he was like, oh, man, he's been working on his durability. This guy's so durable.
Yeah.
Elijah durable.
He's so durable, but don't hit his legs. That's the rule. Don't hit his legs.
It's like that. It's like in Friends. My wife watches Friends. I've got to watch Friends. It's like they want to get in a fight. Like, and they're like, all right, no hitting the face. I got a job interview later. It's all right, no hitting the face. Like, all right, nothing below the knee, no nothing below the waist. We're trying to have a baby.
I think you gotta play 2 hands on back when it comes.
But then they got to go play NFL, and then they get. So I thought Elijah Mitchell looked great. Everybody looked slow in that rain, and he didn't. So I thought that was good. But going into, as an Elijah Mitchell owner, how do you feel about picking up? Are you going to invest in a backup, or are you just going to wait until he comes back?
Well, it's always like the Niners backups that have to come in during the season and they play pretty well. So, I moved Mitchell. I'm going to keep him on. I moved him to my IR, and I think I'm going to try to get one of the running backs.
I would say that's a good point to everybody. If you have IR, man, use it. Like,
yep.
Geez, because I was thinking, like, what are you going to do, man? You're going to roster 2 of them? Oh, that's right. We have IR in the league, thank God. And we just started doing that because of COVID, but we need that regardless.
Yeah,
because it's just so many injuries. It's just ridiculous. And that's all the pieces that you had in that game, right? It was just Elijah.
Yeah. How did the Bears look?
Oh, see, the Bears looked god awful, and so did. No, they really did. Like, if you looked at the yardage, it was like, dude, it was like 40 yards to 155, and the 49ers were playing like crap.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it started to rain, there was just broken plays, and they just kept on hitting that Pringle from Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
So I did notice that. Like, so what bothered me was that I had Cole Kmet, and I'm guessing they just had to keep him to block against the San Francisco front, and in the rain, because dude, they didn't even look his way. And like, he's supposed to be the second in target share. He's supposed to be the second target on that team, and he was like the 4th. And so, like, if you're going to be the 4th target on that Bears offense, you're not worth owning. So that's what was tripping me out about that. But over, like, I got to sleep and have some reflectance and calm down, and I'm just going to hold on to Cole Kmet. I'm going to get another tight end this week, just because it's week 1 waivers. There's some good tight ends out there. Watch our waiver show that we just got released like 6 hours ago, and there's 2 tight ends on there. But yeah, so that was I just noticed that Justin Fields was he was making some decent throws in the rain, and Trey Lance, dude, as soon as it started doing heavy rain, he couldn't do anything. And I saw this breakdown of offensive line, and the San Francisco interior offensive line was just getting killed. And so if you go back and watch that game, he had pressure up the middle almost every time. And so, like, that, and with his first start and everything else, it just looks bad. Also, but I'm not worried about his job, and because they're going to give him more time. But they have this just got released like 30 minutes ago. The San Francisco 49ers are working out more quarterbacks. This might be good for you, Jason. They're going to try to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. And who's the big quarterback that's injured right now?
Some guy with a star on his helmet.
Dak.
Dak.
I was like, what is that? That's like that's Mars Attacks.
Oh, I was thinking Affleck.
Oh.
Affleck.
Dude, you know what Mars Attacks is, right? You know what Mars Attacks is, right?
Yeah. Mars Attacks.
That's their whole language, is act.
Yeah.
There's a whole Reddit thread, and every single word is act.
That's just how they walk.
But anyways, yeah. I know, dude. Well, that's when they're 7-foot women or whatever. But like,
bite fingers off.
Jack Black, great movie. But anyways, what was I talking about right before?
Yeah. So you're saying there's a possibility the Cowboys might be going for Jimmy Garoppolo.
So or Geno Smith's played so well, I don't see why Seattle will be trying to trade right now. But it looks like Seattle's going to be trying to trade Jimmy, which is what we kind of all thought anyways, is why
the Niners are going to trade Jimmy. The Niners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good for Trey Lance, because as a Trey Lance owner, I got pretty nervous after all that. I started looking at Carson Wentz stats.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do I want to bid on Carson Wentz? Do I want to trust Carson Wentz and the Commanders, dude, to be my quarterback? Like, I don't see me winning a fantasy championship with Carson Wentz as my quarterback. So I just got to, I got to figure it out.
I don't even know that Jimmy G would make a difference in that Cowboys offense anyways. They just looked horrible. They looked pathetic.
Oh, right. One thing I want to hit before we leave that game was, as a Trey Lance owner, it was Jawan. Dude, I got to find his name. Jawan something. It was, you know what? He's on my waiver list. There's like a 4-year veteran for the San Francisco 49ers. That guy got all the targets. And so if Kittle's out again, look for this Jawan Johnson. He's a really tall wide receiver. If you need a flex spot, he can do it for you. But yeah, so what game were you talking about after that?
Oh, the Cowboys, they looked awful. Their whole offense looks awful. It's crazy because they always talk about Kellen Moore's like, oh, he's the next big head coach. Like, he looks like he's running out of things to play, running out of plays.
Yeah, I never really liked with. I don't, even last year, it's like, dude, I don't know. I feel like the offense just falls apart sometimes. And like, oh yeah, dude, let's run it for 5 yards a clip and then stop running it. You know, they do that all the time.
Yep. Guess who had 3 drops in that game?
CeeDee Lamb. Did he really have 3 drops?
Yeah.
Because I saw he was like, dude, how many targets did he have? He had a ton of targets and only like 5 catches. And I was like, dude, I bet you had a drop. I didn't know he's had 3 drops.
Yeah.
Well, Shaq Barrett was the dude getting all the pressure on Dak. And do you know what part? I think it was interior. Wasn't it interior? Yes. Or was it? Okay. That's what I heard on the sports radio today. Because I was wondering if it was how that rookie did, you know, that replaced Tyron Smith. Because Tyson now is Tyler Smith.
Taylor Smith played pretty well, but I mean, in the end, they all played like crap anyway. If you had Prescott, I would be worried. If you have CeeDee Lamb, I'll be worried.
Yeah.
I think Ezekiel Elliott probably going in the 3rd or 4th round. I think like the 4th round. I think that's probably a good spot for him to go. And I think Dalton Schultz is going to, be Dalton Schultz. But
would you want to trade? Would you trade for anybody, or would you trade away any of those people?
No, because if I was any defense right now, if I had a Cooper Rush as quarterback, I am stacking that box. Make him throw, stop the run.
Right. And Michael Gallup coming back, he's going to be worthless too.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, because Cooper Kupp is now the backup quarterback. Rush, Gallup he likes Gallup as a wide receiver, so he might be getting a lot of targets.
Okay.
And how accurate the throws are going to be, but
right, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, man, Cowboys are just a dumpster fire, and Tom Brady didn't get many points, but you know who looked good was Julio Jones.
Yes, he did, even though he would go out after every pass play. But
I know. He's like, dude,
that's what you do.
I feel like his arms and his legs pop off every time. Like, he's like, he's like an action figure. You just put that thing back in, dude. But he caught that. It was like a 50-yard pass or something, and he laid out for it. And he looked like he died, afterwards.
Yep.
But hey, I'd pick him up. I mean, he's on my draft. He's on my waiver show this morning, and I think he's worth like I forget how much I put for him. $20, like $10, $20, something like that.
Yeah,
because he's going to be. I mean, Godwin doesn't seem as bad as it's supposed to be, or as it seemed to be.
Another team I want to go into or game. Oh,
one thing. I got a good thing. Elliott played just 2 more snaps than Pollard, so.
Oh.
I thought that was interesting because Elliott was killing it, man. Like, why
he was doing well. After 3 years, he was looking pretty well, but they don't feed the beast.
I know, dude.
Enough.
That was stupid. Okay.
We'll swivel our way into the Bengals-Steelers game. That was a crazy game. The one thing I got from it was like, it was a very defensive game, but the Steelers have the better defense. So they were the one getting the turnovers and the fumbles and the sacks. And I have a lot more respect for Joe Burrow because that offensive line looked awful.
Dude.
They looked
I
awful.
know.
And he
That's what I heard.
still kept them in the game. It took a while, but he still kept them in the game.
That's the same thing that he did last playoffs, man. I mean, he just kept on getting killed and just keeps on. I think that he is like Michael Vick. I don't know, dude. It's like he's one of the quarterbacks that can handle bad offensive lines, even though he had three. If you look at his passer rating, it was like 45 because of his 3 interceptions. And I think he threw the ball like 50 something times, didn't he?
Yeah, they had to get rid of the run.
And you had Joe Mixon. So how did you like
Joe Mixon? Joe Mixon played well because also he could catch the ball at the outfield. Jamar Chase did his thing. A couple of injuries. I think it was Higgins who got injured.
He concussed.
Yeah, and then on the other side, the Steelers' offensive line looked horrible too. Harris doesn't look like he's going to have any room to run, but still he's going to get that volume.
He didn't either. He didn't last year either.
Yeah, like I said, it didn't last year either, but he still ended up top 5 running back or something like that because he gets the volume. He's going to get the catches. He's going to get 90 rushes a game, attempts. He's going to have 90. He's going to have 90 rushes for 80 yards.
Yeah. I was going to say there's a rookie wide receiver I think it was Doxson. He's averaging negative 10 yards a rush in his career. So he had 1 rush for negative 10 yards. Yeah. What game was that you're just talking about?
The Bengals Steelers game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So
Harris went out with an injury too, but I think they say we're going to come back.
Well, I noticed that George Pickens did not see anything.
1 reception.
Chase Claypool didn't explode. Chase Claypool was last year's baby, and it doesn't look like it's going to be this year either. When you were watching that, so I heard that Mitch Trubisky played well, but then I look at the box score and it does not look like that. So what did you see?
I saw, like I said, it was just a defensive game, but the Steelers had a better defense.
Well, was like Joe Burrow noticeably way better than Mitch Trubisky?
Yeah. And he had less time too. Joe Burrow had less time than Trubisky did.
I think that whenever they put Kenny Pickett in is when you're gonna have to start paying attention to Deontay Johnson. Because watching Kenny Pickett, he throws the ball so fast, it's like Tom Brady. He doesn't care. It'll just be super short, super short, super short. So until this offense goes to them, I wouldn't really want too much of this receiving core. But I would, especially Deontay Johnson later on. Maybe George Pickens as well.
Yeah. So I want to go into something pretty quick too. Is the Eagles and the Lions. Lions are going to be the normal Lions. They're going to have to play from behind and throw the ball a lot. But the Eagles, they had the lead. They have 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 by the quarterback, and the other 3 by each running back. Each running back had a rushing touchdown. No passing touchdowns, but they had 4 rushing touchdowns.
So, how often do you think that would happen?
Yeah,
it's great that happened, but I saw Miles Sanders actually did well. I mean, 14 carries for 90 yards and a touchdown or something like that.
Yeah, he's going to do well until he gets hurt.
And I like Kenneth Gainwell. I think he is the most talented runner. Maybe he's more talented than Boston Scott, that's for sure.
Right.
But it's just crazy, man.
10 points.
Out of all those, the one I'd really want is just Jalen Hurts. I wouldn't want to worry about Miles Sanders and getting vultured from 2 backups, and vice versa, both with everybody. And I wouldn't want to hang on to Kenny G, just for hopes of Miles Sanders getting injured. Because Boston Scott's going to be there still anyways.
Yeah.
Hurst didn't even throw a touchdown, but he hyper targeted AJ Brown and Devontae Smith got nothing. And if you know anything about Jalen Hurts, he's a one read dude. He reads and then he runs or throws. That's it. Yeah. So very seldom will he ever even look Devontae's, it's going to have to be a designed Devontae Smith's play for him to get yards. And it sucks because he's so good. He was amazing last year. But I think in that offense, the only person that's going to really get targets is the number 1 priority. So if I'd be trying to trade away Devontae Smith while I can for something decent. And if I had AJ Brown, man, I'd be holding on to him. He almost made it to me. I was going to draft him because you took Mike Williams and Kyle Pitts was already gone. AJ Brown was that dude for me, and then Pat took him right before me, and then I had to go against him this week, so that was great.
Yeah, I bet it's not fun.
No, man. So and then the Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown picked up where he left off.
Yeah, it took a while to get going, but
that's every game for those guys, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Lions are going to be playing for behind, and then he's going to have to throw the ball to his favorite target, Brown, USC boy. So
I would say, and look at the division too, because now the Vikings are so good, but they're going to be playing from behind a lot. But I don't know. We have to wait and see if Aaron Rodgers can trust some of his wide receivers. So
are the Vikings really good, or did the Packers just look horrible?
No, the Vikings are the best they've been since Brett Favre, as far as offense.
Yeah.
Their defense I didn't think was that great, surprisingly, because their defense has been so good for the last 10 years.
Yep.
When I watched that game, but it was just the Packers. I think it's more the Packers because Aaron Rodgers was getting pressured and stuff, but it was nothing like ridiculous. And then the Vikings just kept the Packers off balance so much. And Dalvin Cook could have had such a big game, but he didn't. And I was going against Dalvin Cook, but it didn't matter, So
yeah,
because I think he had 20 carries for he had a Derrick Henry game. It was like 20 carries for 90 yards. But if you watch that game, dude, and the thing is, a lot of the times I'd be like, "Oh man, Dalvin Cook looks good," and it was Alexander Madison.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's they're taking calls. They were taking calls on Alexander Madison, and that was kind of freaking me out because of the whole Shanahan coaching tree, and everything else. I mean, so he's kind of getting into this Hackett sister, though. Nathaniel, no, that's not that. Not the Hackett's the other dude. Forget the Vikings head coach. I should know this. I'm a Vikings fan. I know he looks like my age. It's crazy. He kind of looks like Pennywise from It. He's got this weird face. Have you seen him?
Hi, Georgie. Georgie, want to play?
Hi, Kark. Everything, all the balls fly down here. No, I don't know what I'm trying to say, dude.
I get you.
But yeah, dude, Vikings look great. Justin Jefferson looks great. I don't think Osborne's not going to be a factor. Irv Smith, I wrote down. I was like, dude, Irv Smith had a design play first drive, and then that was the last you saw of him. So screw Irv Smith. I was like, whatever.
Oh, I know. God, I thought that was going to be such a good pickup too. Really did.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's not like the Rams use their tight end all the time anyways, in that system. So whatever. But yeah, so do you want to go over the Broncos game that last night?
Some
or is
quick
something
hits,
else you want to go before that?
Some quick hits. In the Browns game, Chubb was great. He had 24 for 144. And Kareem Hunt had 2 touchdowns. In that same